All right, we are live. It looks like we got Armament and Axes and Luke Cremine here. Just going to do some general discussion about riding. Right. We are live. It looks like we got Armament and Axes and Luke Cremine here. Just going to do some general discussion about riding. Sorry, I had to pause the live feed on the YouTube side. My bad.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Make sure you do that too.
It was repeating itself. I'll check this is the first one. This is just going to be a general discussion, hangout, whatever. So what do we want to start talking about? It looks like we got a few guys. Andrew Craig and Jack Strader both commented already. So we got a few people hanging out. Thanks for watching, guys.
Who I am. I'm Mr. HILLCLIMB Ohio's father. Armament and Axes is my channel if you're into shooting and music, even though there's going to be more to come. It's mostly shooting, but yeah, I taught this kid to ride when he was a very small to the next 3 levels of craziness. So
yeah. You started me out, and then honestly, I was not doing much hill climbing in the beginning until I ran into, well, Luke, you were there. First time I met you and Catfish. I want to follow you guys. Remember how many times it took me to get up, was it Tweety? I think that was Tweety. You still there, Luke?
Says he's here. He's just muted.
Well, unmute.
Yeah, it was the hill next to Tweety.
Yeah. That was pretty scary. That was the first.
The old ambush tires.
Yep. I made it up eventually, but yeah, since then it's gotten a little more extreme, you could say.
Yeah, I think everybody's up their game.
Yeah, for sure. Especially with the extensions and everything now.
It's amazing how far it's came in such a short time.
Yeah, very far. My dad actually came with us to Hillsville one time. He was thinking that you were there, but I'm pretty sure that you weren't there. He was riding my KDX 250.
Yeah, I thought I met you there, but I can't remember which one of your riding buddies I met there. Can't remember. A couple of them probably.
There's been so many trips to Wellsville and so many memories, it's tough to sort them out sometimes.
Well, this was
yeah, for sure. Sorry, I'm doing the chat thing on the side too. We're open to any questions or anything too. If you guys want to, yeah. If anybody wants to say anything or ask any questions.
So we got 11 people on here right now. Obviously, this is just the start of something. We're hoping to turn into something bigger for everybody that's out there listening.
Yeah.
We would like to create a weekly discussion and hopefully create some topics and focus on those topics during the discussions.
Well, the nice thing is too is a lot of your riding buddies that are right here in the chat. You can invite them also for further podcasts, and they can do what we're doing right now.
Sure.
Yeah, I
do. You recommend getting an LTZ 400? Jack Strader said. Well, of course I do.
That's where it all started.
Right. Which, like I said, that's gone now. But sorry, I'm trying to do too many things at once. I'll just flip back. Well, yeah, of course I recommend getting one. I mean, look at all the crap I've done with it. Look at what Catfish can do with a stock length. I mean, honestly, I wish Catfish was in here with us. If anybody can ride a stock length quad, that's going to be the guy right there. Hence why I wanted to hang out with him and ride. But yeah, Z400 is very reliable for sure. I just need more power, so up to the 450, and actually that's actually blown up now. I should have that sitting right here, but I'll go grab the the piston real quick. It's right here.
I was gonna say, I was gonna tell a little story. Brogan was, he was probably, I don't know, about 10 years old. He was on, what was that thing? It was a Honda 125.
125. No suspension.
Yeah, no suspension. The suspension was the tires. And I can't remember. I was on that 250, my brother's, and we're flying across this field. And it's, yeah, and it was pretty bumpy. And I was trying to tell him, I says, you know,
Status of the YFZ.
That's bad. I was trying to tell him, I said, well, you know, to get over those bumps, just kind of lean back a little bit. And, you know, he's keeping right up with me. And, you know, I keep looking over my shoulder to see him. And last time I did, he's not there. So I turned around and I went back. And there he is. The quad's up the side of this tree. He's just standing there with a helmet. And he wasn't really crying. He just kind of a little whimper on it, you know. And I said, okay, you all right? Yeah, I'm okay. I said, well, let's get this down off the tree. We got it down. It wouldn't start right away because it had flooded. We got that thing started. He jumped back on it, falls to the wall. It's like, yeah, I've created the monster. So,
nice.
Yeah. But yeah, where we lived over in Milan, we used to ride all the trails. There's a big valley ran through there, and we had permission to ride some property real close. And we did a little bit of hill climbing there, but the hills weren't anything dramatic. But yeah, we had fun. I miss those days, but I've also gotten a lot older, and my body just is not going to take that abuse anymore. So.
So, let's see here. Robert, looks like you got a +6 now. You got that bolted up, ready to go? Hopefully you do. The guy that said something about the LTZ earlier, I don't know what your skill level is or anything, but I always recommend starting on something like a 400, and I would even recommend starting on a stock bike as far as an stock extension. You know, once you go extended, it makes it easier, and actually it makes it more dangerous at the same time, because you'll do hills above your skill level, and if you don't know what you're doing, you'll get hurt a lot quicker. So with a 400, it definitely keeps you, I think, a little bit on the lower end of the crazy hills, and not saying you can't do anything crazy, but it definitely would be a good start. So I concur on the LTZ 400 being a good bike to start with. If that's what you're doing and starting. If you're already pretty much a skilled climber and so forth, I would recommend going to the 450. You're going to want more power pretty quickly if you're already into racing and have some skill set already on a four-wheeler. So that's just my 2 cents for you there, Jack. So.
Okay, so
You
my
might
motor just decided to reset by itself.
You might want to turn your bandwidth way down,
Me?
Jeremiah.
Oh,
It is. It's all the way down. You can turn the camera. No, now it's back up. Hold on. Okay.
I was going to say.
Anyway, yeah, sorry about that.
Well, hopefully it doesn't.
I don't know why I did that, but it just cut off on me. So.
No, I do know that, you know, I've done this a lot with all the gun channels. I said I've done this a lot with all the gun channels, and if you drop out for too long and try and come back, it'll only go so long, and then the stream will end. So hopefully that doesn't happen. So.
Right. Okay, so you told the story. Obviously, I dropped out. You told the story about the one coming out, right?
Yeah. So should I tell them my other great story that I got you beat on?
Okay.
I was probably 17 years old when I met his mother.
Yeah, go ahead.
And there was this huge pile of coal down over the hill, and I had an RM100, just a little RM100. Well, I started jumping this pile of coal, and I got this great ramp built up, and I just kept going farther and farther and farther until I was hitting at full blast. Now, this bike could only do about 50. but it was at the bottom of this hill. So I start at the top of the hill and just balls to the wall, get going, and I hit that thing. And I was flying. I mean, I was way up there, just looking around like, wow, this is great. Well, his mom was with me the one day. I was putting around on the back and had her get off. And I says, I think I'm going to land right about here. I said, where I land, I want you to walk right over to where I land. So I jumped. She did. I walked it off. And at the time, I don't walk as good as I used to, but at the time, I had a pace of about 3 feet. I paced off 30 paces, which would be 90 feet. Yeah, that was 90 feet in the air. That was interesting. And I did it quite a few times too. But yeah, I got him beat on distance and air time.
Yeah, and that was you said an RM 100, right?
Yep, just a little RM 100.
Yeah, well, I know where you're talking about. Obviously, nobody else does. But coming down a hill,
Yeah,
get speed, and yeah, yep. We got a couple of questions. Crazy Horse, is that the craziest climb in Wellsville? Probably. I don't know though. But yeah, it's definitely. I'd say it's got to be up there with one of them. I don't know.
If you label crazy as just having the sheer balls to basically hit a hill, I would say Crazy Horse is in the top 5 for sure.
Yeah,
if you're talking like one of the hardest hills in Wellsville, then there's many others that you could throw in there and be ahead of Crazy Horse. So I guess it kind of depends on what your meaning of craziest is. But yeah, it definitely takes some serious kahunas to hit that Crazy Horse.
Yeah, I'd have to agree with that completely. That's one of those hills that, I mean, I hit it on the Z. I did not think I was going to hit it, but yeah, it's crazy. You got to be crazy to try it, I guess. And a lot of people have tried it, but yeah, craziest. I mean, yeah, you definitely got to have the balls to hit it to qualify it for crazy. But like you said, being the hardest, I don't say it's the most technical hill. If you got enough power to get your ass up there, okay, it's pretty much a straight shot. But yeah, it's probably the craziest, but not the hardest. Even though I haven't made it. But we had another question. Chad Holt, he said, how was Hill Climb Ohio started? That was started by a buddy of ours, actually.
Cody.
What's that? Yeah, Cody. That we were just riding, and next day we rode all weekend together. Obviously climbing hills and stuff, and then all of a sudden there's a Facebook page, Hill Climb Ohio. Okay, and all of a sudden. Lots of people started joining the group. I mean, obviously all the Wellsville group people joined in because that's where we're riding at most of the time. And then, yeah, it just went from there. Now look at us. We're going down to Florida and expanding, going over to Pennsylvania and everything. So then, obviously, we came up with Hill Climb USA because Hill Climb Ohio is Hill Climb Ohio. So we had to, expand that because whatever reasons, but yeah, that's basically how it got started. Just buddy created a Facebook page, and now it's become a lot more. And Chad, obviously, the person that asked knows, but I know why you're asking, so that other people can understand and see how we got this going. But now we're doing this right here, so hopefully it just keeps expanding. That's the whole idea, right? I'm getting shirts made, and I got stickers, which I'll show a couple of stickers, whatever. So I'm gonna there's actually one on the door right there. But I think I might I'm either gonna put them on eBay, or I mean they're for sale. I got them PayPal, so if anybody wants any information on that, that can be conveyed over. You can just PayPal me the money. Yeah, I'll talk about that before we get done. But
I see a question from Jack Strader. It says, I'm from Ohio and in Hanoverton at the pits. I haven't. These guys might have.
I'm trying to find see that comment. Maybe my page is probably behind on me. Hold on.
I personally have not rode over there. I'm not very familiar with it, so maybe it's something new we need to look into.
One other question, Andrew Craig says, can you ride all year down there? Well, how cold do you want to be? I'm sure, you know, we
can ride all year. Yeah. Oh yeah, you can ride all year. You can. That's for sure.
I remember us winter, but yeah.
Yeah, if it wasn't so complicated, I'd show you the last. I mean, you can look through my past videos. The last time I rode in the winter at Hillsville. Yep, you'll see why I don't ride in the winter anymore. You watch that video. We're riding on top of the ice, and there's like 6 inches of slush on top of the ice, and it literally covered my boots and my Nerf bars and everything, and just basically froze my feet to the Nerf bars. And I was so cold. I'm like, you know what? I'm done riding in the winter. I mean, it's fun, but for me to go 3 hours, 3.5 hours away is about how long it takes when you get to Hillsville or Wellsville. I'll ride around here, yeah, all year, but I'm not traveling to freeze. So I kind of cut out my winter riding. But yeah, you can ride all year. Look, I mean, Davey's the one that kind of got us into the chains and stuff, because we'd come out in the winter and he's running snowmobile spikes and chains on not force nose, but pro edges, you know. So then, okay, yeah, we can ride in the winter. He'll get up at all, no matter how frozen it is. You dig right in. But is it open all year round? Oh, it is what open all year round? Wellsville?
I think he's referring to Wellsville.
Yeah, Wellsville. Yeah, yeah. It's open all year round. It might look like I mean, there's that website and stuff that makes it kind of seem like it's an official place or whatever, which it's Forbidden Zone is technically, but Wellsville is open. Yeah, it's kind of just open riding. Technically not any rules, but you know, it's nice to see people actually follow, you know, general rules like wear a helmet and don't litter and don't be dumb kind of thing. But yeah, no, it's open all year, anytime.
Broken there. Charles was on there asking about the hill climb competition schedule.
Yeah.
Yeah. So you got a date set for this year's comp?
Yes. I should be I'm not doing the best right now, and the money in the four-wheeler, obviously, I just showed the piston in my 450s done. So anyway, hopefully by then I'll have something. And technically, I don't even need anything to host it. But I was planning. I already looked up the date. August 3rd will be the first Saturday in August. I try to do it the first Saturday in August every year. So should be August 3rd, hopefully, if everything goes the way.
I may have to talk to you about that on the side, Brogan. There's a chance that I might be locked up for the first weekend of August every year through work from now on. So
okay,
might be a possibility to get that changed.
Like you said, in mind, yeah, that's what I got in mind. But it's always
okay.
Changed, so.
Yeah, we'll talk about that.
I'd like you to be there for this one. You weren't at the last one, right? So.
Yeah, I made it to the last one, and the one before I got lucky because I'd already scheduled it off before they told me I had the mandatory work that weekend. So, but yeah, I'm also kicking around an idea of putting a hill climb competition on down this way, and kind of, you know, splicing it into yours. So that's some more future discussion. Maybe we'll be doing a whole discussion just on that, because I would like to, you know, this is obviously public right now, but these are just thoughts coming off the top of my head. We haven't really talked about this yet, but I would like to eventually create one down here and then tie it into the one you have up there, almost like a point system for a champion between both if you attended both of them. So just some thoughts. So we'll talk about that. Like I said, probably at another one of these podcasts, and we can get some more details on that to everybody.
Okay. Were you thinking at Perry?
No. Well, Perry was a thought at first, but there's so much red tape with being a state forest and insurance, and looking at possibly scenic trails. It's not a big area, but it definitely has some climbs, some potential. So we're looking at plenty of parking, restrooms, ambulance on site. So there's definitely some talk on that, and I've already got the blessing from the owners. We just got to get everything planned out. So
okay, no, that sounds cool. And yeah, we'll have to talk. We used to do one. You used to do one earlier in the year, and then, you know, you've been busy and stuff, so I kind of ended up being the only one that's been hooked in one. But it is nice to have at least 2 a year. I know Brian did one, you know, he's done a couple or whatever, but it is nice to have more than just one a year. But
well, it'd be nice to get one, like even if it's just a mini series, we do 2 or 3 a year, and you know, you could do something more with it that way, I believe, and it would it may turn into the Hill Climb Ohio series at some point. So
right.
Honestly, that to me, you know, what you guys are saying, have one here, and then have the final championship thing. You know what I mean? That'd be cool.
Yep, I agree, and that's kind of the thought process behind that. So
yeah, it might be tough to get a lot of people to attend both places. Is the only thing. But I mean, if you there's going to be a pot, obviously. That's the whole. That I like having the payout for the incentive. So kind of, I mean, if you got a nice sized pot, you know, be okay, then yeah, I'll travel to the next place and try it. Actually, speaking of which, I had just posted my video not too long ago, a couple weeks ago, from the competition this past August. And we had them pro AMA guys there on those. I don't know if you watched the video, Luke or Dad, but the extended bikes, the pro guys that came from, actually, I can't remember where they said they were from right this second. But anyway, making the point that we've been expanding, and we're getting people coming from, obviously the Florida guys come up, but these guys are pro AMA guys, and they're showing up to the hill climb competition just to be a part of it. But they actually didn't even make it to the second hill because they went over to Crazy Horse, speaking of earlier, and they wrecked their bikes. So yeah. Anyway.
Now they're on dirt bikes.
Yeah, they were. Yeah, you can check out the video. They're at the first hill, and I mean, they're good riders and they're screaming bikes. But after the second hill, I'm like calling them up, and they're not there. You're like, oh, they went down a Crazy Horse, and then I talked to them later, and they're like, yeah, we ended up messing our stuff up on Crazy Horse.
So it is properly named Crazy.
Yeah, it used to be named something else, I believe, but you know how that goes. They all got different. You know, the years go by and names change. Just like Lookout, you know, I've heard Overlook and all kinds of different things for that.
One of these days I want to get down there. Not that I'm going to do any crazy hill climbing, but I just want to get down there and putt around. And, you know, I wouldn't mind making one of these competitions, and I'll do whatever, you know, to help in the competition and that kind of thing. But yeah, I'm not into going, whoops, I flopped off and I broke my ankle and now it's going to take 3 years to heal because I'm old. And yeah.
Right.
But
yeah, I've been, so I'm trying not to get hurt anymore. Thank God I haven't gotten hurt too bad. I know, Luke, I know you've been through some damage because you've told me some stories, but the worst thing I think I've done is that, and you said it. That's why it makes it so much. It makes it funny actually, and it's on video. That you only got so many lives. You know, don't use them all up on one hill. And then I hit it again. It was a mushroom or whatever. I rolled my ankle. Then the next day I had to make a splint out of saplings and wrap it with rubber tape and zip ties. And I rode 2 more days.
I remember you telling me that.
I mean, yeah, I got the pictures on my Facebook, and I mean, it's on video. I can't tell you the exact date, but I mean, I got Luke sitting right next to me going, stop trying, you know, like eventually something's going to happen, you know, you can only hit the hill so many times. You know? So I kind of made myself a rule, like 3 times, all right, back off, try it again another weekend, you know, because you just keep hitting the same hill, and sometimes it doesn't work out the best. So
my problem is I've already gotten too many injuries and bad knees, bad ankles. Yeah. So hey, everybody out there, getting old sucks. Okay.
Oh, yeah.
I told Brogan a long time ago. I said, you know, you're gonna.
Uh-oh.
Because it never really heals.
All right. You cut out. Can you repeat that? You cut out on my end. I don't know if you cut out on the actual broadcast. You cut out on my end.
Sorry, guys. I stepped away for a few minutes. I got a sick kid I was trying to take care of.
No, that's all good. Did you hear me mentioning we were talking about injuries and stuff like that? And,
oh my.
yeah. You obviously were away then. I said
No,
I know that you've been through some injuries. I've heard some stories, but I had mentioned that whatever hill it was, I think it was mushroom. It's on video. You're sitting right next to me, like, you know, you only got so many lives. You might want to stop hitting it.
Yeah.
And then sure enough, rolled my ankle and made that splint out of saplings and everything. And yeah, I already went through it, but you were away. But yeah. On that note, why don't you mention some one of your injuries that you've been through real quick? You know, like maybe your worst. I mean, I've heard some of your stories, so.
Yeah, I mean, I've had some pretty fortunate outcomes out of a lot of my injuries. They haven't been too serious. I haven't done anything like Preacher has, where I've, you know, broken my scapula and spleen and hips and all that crazy madness. But I've had some pretty bad ones outside of the hill climbing with racing and you know, torn tendons and surgeries and things. But with hill climbing, I've been pretty lucky. I've just you know, I've sprained knee and sprained wrists and concussions and being knocked out and things like that, but nothing I would consider very serious on the hill climbing. I don't know if that's luck or if that's just a little bit of skill in my bailing skills. So
yeah, and that's the thing. You know, bailing, like, you got to know what to do. You got to know how to get off. You cannot stay on it. Get away from it. try and save it. Yeah, sometimes it doesn't work out for the best when you're trying to save it, but I imagine your bailing skills have definitely helped your ability to not get too damaged. Didn't you say one time down at Perry, you got, I want to say it was you, one of the hills down there, the quad slammed you into a tree, or you got pinned, something like that?
Oh yeah, I've had quite a few of those myself. The backbreaker was actually named after me wrecking on it. The hill down there we call backbreaker. I came off the quad and landed on a tree on my back, and if it wasn't for my chest protector, I probably would have broke my back that day. So yeah, that was not a fun day. I've also had I got a separated shoulder to this day because of a hill at Perry. It wasn't even that crazy of a hill. It's the little ones that you're not prepared and not really amped up about, and you don't have spotters on, and it's an everyday hill. Those are the ones that seem to get you hurt because your guard's down. But I came over a hill and I came in too hot, and a stick grabbed me and put me sideways. And when I went sideways, it spiked me into the ground and separated my shoulder. So
yeah.
Ouch. Ouch.
Yeah, and it's still separated to this day. It was actually in between jobs at that time, and I didn't go to I had the crappy Cobra insurance, so I didn't go get it fixed like I should have, and I didn't know it was as bad as it was. And years later, I had some back pain, and went to the chiropractor, and he ordered an X-ray, and I found out I had a separated shoulder. So that's how that all came about. But yeah, there's definitely many injuries that come out of this. It's definitely not a sport for people that are afraid to get hurt. I mean, it's bound to determined to happen at some point, especially if you're going to push the limits and you're going to push it up to the level that we've been doing. So
Yes.
I was just going to give a shout. I said I was just going to give a shout out to the Archangel. He is a moderator over on Hank Strange podcast. You guys want to, I don't know, like I said, I don't know how many of you guys are into firearms or Second Amendment, but go over and check out Hank Strange podcast at 7 Eastern weeknights. But yeah, he's from Florida too, so
yeah, I've been hanging out, watching. Great dude, great content, good talk.
I'd say guns and four-wheelers and dirt bikes go hand in hand.
Yeah, definitely.
It's all about freedom.
Yep. But before I forget what I was going to say, on the note of you can't be scared of getting hurt. That's the main thing. You got to know that there's a chance that this ain't going to work out well. when you're, even on, like you said, on the daily, I've been up this a million times. You never know what's going to happen. I mean, your chain can pop off.
Yeah, and on the flip side of that,
that's happened to me several times. I run a chain guide, but a lot of people don't. Every time, I broke my chain guide. I'm like, okay, I'll just take it off. Next hill I hit, boom, chain pops off. It's like, okay. But anyway, I was going to say, two kinds of riders. Those who have wrecked and those who will wreck. So no one is never going to wreck unless you don't ride. You're going to wreck at some point, and you just got to know it's going to happen. Hopefully you don't get hurt too bad, but that's why you wear a helmet, you wear a chest protector, you wear your riding boots. I didn't used to wear the riding boots, hence that time I rolled my ankle. I went and bought riding boots right after that weekend. Haven't rolled my ankle since. Jumped off the quad plenty of times, never had a problem. So yeah, I just wanted to make that a point, I
was going to say Robert Rosenborough the Jr. He says, my first time at Perry, 5 minutes into being there, I flipped my quad down a hill in the parking lot. And then he went on to say that's why we all have full gear when riding, and that's true. Honestly, when I was younger, I was fearless. Just like jumping and doing. you know, after I learned to ride, man, yeah, and you're right. Those who haven't wrecked and those who will, and I've wrecked, trust me. And I can remember picking gravel out of my arm. Little pea gravel was embedded in my arm because it went right through my jacket that I had on. It wasn't leather, but you know, yeah, part of the game, as Ron Newport said, part of the game.
Ron knows all about that. He knows all about that. I can say he's right up there with all of us. I mean, he's one of the best for sure. He's definitely got the balls to do it, no doubt there. Always love riding with you, Ron. Good times.
Ron, the ninja.
Yep. He'll definitely he's definitely one of the best spotters out there, hands down. That guy's up there helping.
Yeah, yeah. I was pretty confident on some of them Florida climbs with Ron at the top of them hills. So
yeah.
Hey, another mention is with being safe and getting hurt and all that. The spotters are definitely a big part of that too. Sometimes you don't even have to be a rider to be involved with injuries, and we've seen some pretty crazy stuff from the spotters, saving and getting hurt and putting almost their lives, I guess, so to speak, or at least their bodily injury on the line and saving these machines. And we never asked, anybody to get hurt trying to save one of our machines, but we definitely do appreciate it and try to return the favor, when we're back at the top of the hill. So
I've watched those videos, and I swear some of them spotters, and I've seen some of them almost get totally wiped out. And yeah.
And when I'm spotting, I have the same gear on spotting that I do when I'm riding. I'll put my helmet on just for that reason. I mean, I like the video with the helmet, obviously, but it's also for safety. If I'm going down with that quad, I want to have my chest protector and my helmet on. So,
Luke, you mentioned racing. What kind of racing do you do?
Well, I'm kind of out of it now. It's hit and miss here and there, but I do hair scrambles. I ran 3 full seasons, and then just done a few races here and there in between. But I did District 11 back in the day when it was a big deal, and then I did some Outlaw Series. So it was called SOCCS, and now it's called XCR. It's kind of transitioned, but yeah, I really liked racing, and I wish I would have kind of started at an earlier age, because I think I probably would have went somewhere different with it, maybe pushed it into the national level. But I was fortunate enough to, overall every season I ran. So I got some overalls and stuff for those. And so that kind of transitioned into hill climbing for me. So that's kind of my history on my riding. I started on a little PW, that was called a Weisinger 80, actually, is what it was, my first bike.
I remember those.
Yeah. So, and then I got into some quads. I had an 87 Warrior and worked on a couple different Warriors, and then worked my way into a 400EX, and then I never looked back after that with the Honda brand. So
nothing wrong with a Honda. Nothing wrong.
Yeah.
With it. It's hence the Honda banner.
We always bash on each other about brands and stuff, but when it all comes down to it, we're still saving a Honda or saving a Yamaha on the hill as the same, But
yeah,
and they all climb the same. It's a lot of the rider. I mean, and the way it's built and the way it's set up, and you can make any of them as good as the other.
So you're telling me you've never had a spotter go, no, I'm not saving it because it's a Honda, right?
Not to my knowledge. You may want to ask around on that, but not to my knowledge.
Yeah, as long as you don't, I don't know if you can read the brand name, but you don't run $99 top end kits, and then this won't happen, which I did not run this. It was already in the YFC. I mean, it lasted a year roughly, but no, yeah, I looked up top end kits. $99 for a cylinder, piston, and head gasket kit. I'm like, well, no wonder. No wonder.
Pay for it.
So, Matt Coe. Matt Coe joined in.
I love you too, Matt.
Go, Matt.
Love you too, Matt.
Geez. Anyway, I was gonna say, weren't you into razors before
Who, me?
Yeah,
Yeah, I bought a razor at one point.
that was back when they like first came out, though, wasn't it?
Yeah, it'd been out for a couple years. I bought a 2010 model. I think it was 2012 when I got it. So it had been out for about 4 years. I think they came out in 2008. And I think I had 2 times I took it out that I did not break. So if that tells you anything, that's one fan I will never be part of as Polaris. So it just kind of put a bad taste in my mouth ever since then. I know that they made a much better machine since then, but it just wasn't for me. I was trying to do what a quad did with a razor, and that just wasn't working out. So not without beefing it up and putting thousands of dollars in it.
Right. I was going to say, when I was at Hillsville at one time, when we were riding back, they were towing a bike back with a razor, and they went through this water, and I decided to go through this water, and I got drenched, and it was just cold enough to where I was freezing. I had no spare clothes, and I ended up riding with somebody in a razor that was definitely modified. He told me how much he had into it, and I'm like, oh my God. But we climbed hills, we did all kinds of crazy stuff, and I was in the passenger seat, and
Did he drop out for a minute there?
Yeah, I lost him too.
Yeah. Let me see. Matt. Anyway, yeah, he's just making me laugh. Withrow, HJ Withrow, you mentioned, you know, in the woods we're all family, and you know that's true. It's I got no better friends than my riding buddies, like you, Luke, like Ron, like I can name off so many people. Obviously, we all ride. We got a huge group of people that ride, but when we're in the woods, we're all family. We're trying to spot each other. We're there for each other. Your crap breaks down. You're getting towed back. I mean, just watch the videos. You'll see stuff getting towed back all the time. Blah blah blah. It's just how it is, you know. Whether or not we quote shit talk to each other, that's not actual shit talking. We're just messing around. We're all family. And it's a great thing, you know.
I was going to say, if you're not, so that's just, you know.
You lag there. Repeat that. Said you're lagging. Repeat what you said.
I'm trying. Can you hear me now?
Yeah. You're mentioning the family riding thing.
Can you hear?
Yeah, you're still kind of roboting.
Stupid machine.
Mute. Come back.
I'm trying it. I'm trying it. I was just checking
All
the
right.
internet.
Anybody out there got any questions or anything you want to ask? You know, give us something to talk about here. Warsaw Patriot, yeah. Polaris vehicles, yeah. The Razors are badass. Yeah, they are. Seen them do a lot of things that I had no. I definitely didn't think it would be possible, but yeah, like Crazy Horse, a Razor going up Crazy Horse. Never would have thought that would happen, but it did. It was impressive. As for their quads, I'm not. Yeah, personal opinion. We don't really see any Polaris quads out there really doing anything too intense. Oh geez, what is it? I'm trying to think of the name of it. The Polaris Sport Quad. They're really heavy though. They're kind of a.
They made the Outlaw. It's got the 525 in it.
Yeah,
And they got the old school, the Predator, which was a
Yeah,
500.
Predator, that's it. The Predator. Yeah, they're really heavy.
Yeah,
So,
when I was racing, those Predators were kind of the cause to beat for the whole shots, but they weren't worth a darn for handling in the woods when we raced. So
right.
yep. Craig says
Really
525 outlaw.
Wellsville for the first time yesterday. Okay, so you probably haven't seen a whole lot. You didn't spend, yeah, I mean, you could spend a whole weekend there and you're not going to see the whole place.
Hopefully, he had
I've
a
never
guide.
seen the place. I mean, it's huge. So just on that note, just wait till you see everything, man. Because I imagine you haven't seen the craziest stuff there is down there. Everybody knows what Crazy Horse is, but there's a lot more to the place. That's a main place, a main hangout. Blah blah blah. You guys have a Facebook group? Yes. Yeah, on Facebook, just look up HILLCLIMB Ohio. That's our group. We got HILLCLIMB USA as well. HILLCLIMB Ohio is public now, I believe, so you should be able to find it. Got, I believe, 2,000 some odd, pushing 3,000 probably by now. 2,500 or so members. So yeah, you can find us up on there. And Matt, yeah, Catfish can definitely ride a scrambler. I let him ride mine for a minute, and yeah, he definitely climbed some shit with it. Could we plan a big group for a benefit ride? You see that comment, Luke?
Yeah, I was thinking of taking the. There's already been some races already talked about, and I think I'm going to kind of let the racing organizations deal with that. They got one on April 6th, which is the same day as opening weekend at Perry. So I think that the one I'm going to do personally with the HILLCLIMB Ohio group will be that hill climb. I think I might try to use maybe the entries from that, as far as not the rider entries, but the spectator entries, getting into the gate, the gate fees basically. I'm going to try to talk with the property owners and see if we can maybe take those for Aiden. I don't know if anybody's aware, but we had a local friend of ours. His son was a national champion racer, and he unfortunately lost his life. So we're looking to possibly help the family out with that. So and I'm sure that there's a lot of people that will be behind us on that. So
Yeah, that sounds good. Yeah, I mean, I wasn't aware of all that, but
yeah, I know we haven't been in touched on the Facebook front much, but that's my reason for my profile picture. You know, his number with Halo written.
okay, all right.
So,
Yeah, I kind of wondered about that.
yeah.
I've been kind of out of the game. If anybody cares, sorry, I haven't been riding and bringing up new content. Because been going through crap and don't have a lot of money right now, so my Wellsville trips and all that have not been up to par as they used to be. Because yeah, definitely like being there 2-3 weekends a month, but it's not possible at the moment. So you know, it happens. But no, I'm not done riding. I don't see. Terry hasn't made a comment. I don't know if he's out there. Shout out to Terry if you are out there. But he said he'd watch and maybe make some comments and stuff. But he had mentioned that a few people said that I was done riding. But nope, not done riding. Trust me, not done riding. It's anybody that rides, you know, that's a feeling and a something that there's nothing else like it. So No, I ain't done riding. Trust me.
Thanks for the love there, Warsaw Patriot and Archangel. Appreciate that.
Yeah, sorry to hear. So did you say you were going to try and do a fundraiser kind of thing?
Yeah, there's some other groups and stuff that are already coming together for that, but I would like to put a little bit into it myself, and hopefully we can get a little bit of, like he said, the love in the community, the off-road community, kind of being a family. That's where it kind of shows, you know, when you can do a benefit like that and put some help to a family that's you know, definitely mourning and in need. So
Copy that. Yeah, we've had a few of those for other YouTubers that went through things, and a couple of them died too. So, but we had some fundraisers, and you know, buy a T-shirt or whatever, you know.
yeah.
Sorry.
I was going to say, Archangel just mentioned how about a big ride for the gun owners of America, and they need our help right now, because whether people know it or not, our rights are. You better pay attention, because if you like firearms and your Second Amendment, kind of being threatened right now.
This is true. Yeah. Yeah. If yeah, obviously I've been watching and knowing what's going on, but yes, you can take a second to elaborate on it if you want there. What's going on real quick, you know?
Well, now that the House is controlled by the Democrats, they are pushing a lot of anti-gun bills through. Kind of just a lot of crap. They're trying to ban everything. The ultimate goal is it's not about gun control. It's about and they know once they have all the guns that only the criminals are going to have guns. You know what I'm saying?
Yep. People don't get that. You know, if they just pay attention and look at look at how things work, but no, they think, oh, you know, more laws, more restriction. That's going to help, right?
Yeah, right.
No, criminals don't abide by laws. You're not going to make another law that's going to fix anything. It's not going to work. But that's what gets talked about on all the gun channels and everything, which is definitely good discussion.
So for those of you that are still in here, I think there's a few people extra that weren't in here originally. We're looking to do this on a weekly basis on Sunday evenings. Probably you know, 6 or 7 o'clock start. 7 o'clock seems to be pretty decent start for most people. We're probably going to rotate, I think, is the way I understand it, between Brogan's channel and mine. And we'd like to get some more people involved. This is something we just kind of decided to do on a last minute deal. And we know there's a lot of other voices out there, like you know, Chad and some others that know a lot of information and can help out with some things that are going on with our off-road parks and riding community, and things that we can definitely discuss and get some information out there to everybody. And obviously just bring up topics about stuff for people that have questions. There's a lot of people that always ask on our YouTube channels on what type of setups we do and what the reason for things are. And like, we already got some questions tonight on what's open and when. And so we're more than happy to share our knowledge and help you guys out, people that are just getting started or that just have been riders for years and maybe just getting into hill climbing. So, but we definitely like to make this something on a weekly basis, get more people involved, and hopefully spread some information to everybody.
Right. Exactly. Yep. Yeah, I mean, yeah, you kind of just spelled it all out right there. Exactly right. It would be nice to do it every week, and hopefully we can get some more people involved to actually be on the panel. More people will be talking, and more discussion will happen then, you know what I mean? I mean, there's obviously all kinds of things we can talk about. If you if you hump the seat, does that make you climb back hills? Oh, Matt, glad you could join us, Matt. We always love your comments and your hilarity.
Yeah, that was funny. Kyle Nahar.
I think everybody's figured out who the joker of the group is.
Yeah, that's for sure.
No, Kyle Nahar says, I want to ride with you guys so bad. I'm like 15 minutes from Wellsville and never been there.
Yeah, yeah. Well, I usually post it on my Facebook page, and literally pretty much all the riders do normally. Like, going to Wellsville this weekend, blah, blah, blah. You go to the Hill Climb Ohio page on Facebook, add yourself, whatever, it'll get approved, obviously. If you're not already a member, we already talked about that. Usually gets posted in there if people are going to Wellsville or Perry or anywhere. Usually people post it. More than welcome. Anyone's always more than welcome. I've met so many people just by them getting a hold of me or just commenting on Facebook saying, I want to ride. Don't matter how good of a rider you are, except the fact that you got to know Wellsville's rough as hell. I mean, you live there, so you know how hilly it is and all that. But the trails are just, they're rough. But as long as, I mean, I've seen people on lawnmowers. They're not getting where we go, but I have seen people riding lawnmowers around. So you got something in little pit bikes even. And, you know, pit bike will get you more places than you would think. I mean, you're not climbing no crazy hills or anything, but Matt, Wellsville's closed. Yeah, it's been closed for years. It's been closed for years.
Yeah, here we go. Yeah, Willie, I seen your comment there, Willie. That's some pretty good hills there you got to check out. Looks like on your first trip, and definitely at Durbin. He's a good rider. He's a good guy. We enjoy hanging out with him. He's been riding with us.
I didn't even see that comment.
Yeah, yeah. It's easy to skip. There's quite a few comments coming through. So
yeah. Let me see. Boat Dock, Widowmaker, Lookout, Blue Panther. All good hills. Yeah.
yeah. So he's got to see some good stuff already. Like
Boat
you
Dock,
said though, you can't see it all in a day or two. It definitely takes, I'd say, at least 3 days if you got a good guide to see everything.
Yeah. But Boat Dock's your profile or your YouTube profile pic is Boat Dock.
Yeah, yeah. Thanks to Ohio Off Road there. That was a great pick he snapped there. That was one of the, I think it was the second year that hill was climbed on the quad.
I think the last time I seen, he mentioned Durbin. I think the last time I seen him was when he ended up breaking his leg. Poor guy.
I think we caught up opening weekend of Perry, and I think I might have rode him once since then as well.
But Brogan, yeah. Yeah, well, I didn't see you, Matt. And you can, if you watch the video, you don't have to watch the hill climb competition video, but you can watch that says my wreck on, I can't even remember the name of the hill. Been out of it for too long. Anyway, yeah, I didn't see anybody. And you can see on the camera as I'm coming up that there's nobody in my camera or nothing. I'm just following a dirt bike track, which Andrew Franklin told me that was his track. Followed it right off up at the top of the same way you get up to trying to explain it to you, Luke, so you know where I'm talking about. Same way you get up to Crazy Horse, that trail, you know how they're all washed out. They're what, 4 foot at least, 4 to 6 feet deep. After I climbed that, I think it's Groom Hill. Yeah, Groom Hill, that new one, down from Crazy Horse. Get up the top of that. Well, just keep blasting it, and yeah. Well, now we're at like a 4 to 6 foot drop off. I'm like, oh, oh, no, that's no good. Yeah, I bent both my right A-arms on that one. And it landed on my ankle, which my other ankle this time. And so I was limping for, geez, I was actually limping for months at work. About 2 months I was barely walking at work and saying words I don't want to say as I put weight on my right foot. Yeah, Groom Hill, as you said there. Yep, that's it.
Yeah.
I was just gonna say, you were talking about how people would you can always do a short little video on your YouTube channel and say, hey, riding this weekend or competition or whatever, you know.
Yeah, definitely. I think we try to put it out there on the I think for the most part, pretty much everybody on the YouTube is on Facebook on some kind of avenue, whether it's our personal pages or HILLCLIMB Ohio or USA or any of those, even the Wallsville page. I was also reading here, Willie was asking about the ropes and the hooks. He's asking about if there's a place you can buy them or do you make them. I think for the most part, we all make our own, some kind of setup. You know, with the ones on Crazy Horse or rebar that's been bent and molded basically for long reaches due to the steepness of the hill, and you can't really stand on a lot of the face of it. You got to be able to reach out pretty far, and then just buy some real heavy duty rope. You know, something that's going to have high enough brake strength that it'll basically grab a 400+ pound quad and be able to keep it from breaking when it drops 5 feet or something. Typically we like to hook them and try not to let them drop, but if that happens, it's nice to have a rope that'll hold it. I use a pretty heavy duty carabiner. I think it's a 3,500 pounds brake strength carabiner that I carry on my quad, and I think my rope is probably a little bit light for what I use it for, but it's 800 pounds of working load. So I don't know what the brake strength is on it, but it's a pretty heavy duty rope. It'll hold quite a bit. I haven't had it break on me other than the time that Rogan just posted the video
Yeah.
where we had it snag up in the wheels, and he broke it from the RPMs of the wheel spin, catching the rope and breaking it. That's the first time that rope's broke.
Well,
Yeah.
I was going to say, usually your braking strength's twice of what's your working strength. Look at Kyle Nahar's last comment. Who was that he's talking about, kid?
What's that?
Kyle Nahar. Look at his comment.
Which one?
The very last one.
A week ago, watched the ATV fail, and one of your guys slipped down a big hill with the highway.
Yeah, that's me.
Let's look out.
Yeah, that was the Z. Yeah, that video. Yeah, it went pretty viral. But in like 3 days, there's like 55,000 views on Facebook, which that's just the Facebook video from the guy's phone. That wasn't my actual helmet cam video, but yeah, that was that. There were stories of people rolling their quads down lookout before that, but that happened, and then now several people have done it. And what Preacher actually made it all the way to the road, not in the road, but his quad
Same level
did make it down to the very last level on the ground. And I believe a statey stopped by and just asked him if they were okay. That was it, which is a good thing, and he didn't give him no crap. But yeah, mine didn't make it that far, and it wasn't really that mangled. Really just rear tires popped off the bead and ripped all the wires going to my ignition button and all my controls. Took a half hour for each rear tire with a little mini pump to get the bead reset, but I rode it back, so it worked out. Bent axle and all that good stuff. But that one time at band camp,
Yeah, Matt, once again,
Yeah.
he's talking about him basically taking me out. I was a spotter. Speaking of spotters being in danger, he was trying Crazy Pony, and he didn't go the right direction when he came off the wall and went right at me and pretty much created. I was his traction inhibitor that day. So, yeah, he pretty much came right at me and landed on top of me on a quad. So that was a fun day. Still has not been completely climbed up the main line by a quad, as that hill is still technically undefeated.
What? Wait, what hill?
Crazy Pony at Perry.
Oh yeah, you're right. You're right.
We've had some guys, land and get pulled over the top. We've had guys, land on the side and go out the sideway. There's kind of a side trail now to it. So we've kind of hit the wall and went sideways and we rode it out from the side, but nobody's made it straight up yet.
Willie Schwartz, still ride Hillsville. Yep, people are still riding there. But yeah, technically, it's you're not supposed to. You're supposed to know people and kind of have permission. But you know how that goes. But yeah, it is. People are definitely still riding it. Anytime I go with a person that has permission, and I'm a guest with them, so I try to not get in trouble. So, but yeah, he was just asking if people still riding there.
Ron Ninja Newport. Yeah, this is gonna be the year, buddy. We're gonna get a quad over it. You're right.
Yeah. That man, when your video of trying Crazy Pony, that's an epic video. Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. I'm reading comments.
But yeah, that was
that was epic video, man. I mean, the angle and it was just, when I seen that video, I'm like, holy crap.
that was my buddy Jimmy up there spotting me. I felt bad for Jimmy. He took the brunt of that wreck. He was a spotter. Once again, another great story of a spotter getting taken out pretty much. Free fell probably 15 feet in the air before we hit ground again, and I caught it on video as we're falling down the hill. It was great as far as footage goes.
Yeah, it was great.
We got lucky that nobody got hurt on that one. So, and the other thing that's kind of a funny little input is that he's a doctor, so he was there for more of helping us if we got hurt, and he was the one that got involved with the crash. So,
yep. I wanted to say on that note, you get in a wreck. Hopefully the camera was on. It's like
first question.
Suck, even if you get hurt and your vehicle, whatever you're riding or driving, it gets destroyed. Hopefully it's on video. Hopefully somebody got it, because I mean, everybody loves carnage. It's unfortunate. Nobody wishes it, but if it happens, hopefully you got it on video.
First question, are you hurt? Are you okay? Second question, did you get it on video?
Yeah.
I want to see some.
Get that. Did somebody get it on video?
And then third question, how's the bike? Can I do it again?
No, let's see what's wrong. All right, I think we're good. Let's try it again.
I was going to say, I want to see some more drone footage. That gives you a perspective on how steep some of those hills are. Your helmet cams and handhelds, they just don't. And some of the drone footage I saw, I'm like, oh my God, on how steep some of them hills are. Crazy.
Yeah, that's for sure. I do have a drone. I just got to get myself good at it, but yeah, I mean, obviously I can't operate it when I'm riding, so I'd be able to use it when other people are climbing. But if I can find a good operator for it, I do want to start getting some drone footage because, like you're right, you know, watch that. I only got one video with drone footage, but you get a whole different aspect on, especially Lookout.
I was gonna say, wasn't that Lookout?
Yeah, yeah. I mean,
Yeah.
there's like 3 drone clips in that video, but Lookout, yeah, goes out on the side. And you can actually see, like, it's not real steep, but it's steep, like, you know. So yeah, it totally gives you a different outlook on it, and there's definitely more steeper and crazier hills than that tier of Lookout that I climbed, but we got to get it on footage because the the camera does not justify it. The helmet cam does not justify what's going on. It's just, you go see it in person and you're like, oh, okay. That's why, you know, you get all your comments on your YouTube videos like, you don't know how to ride or blah, blah, blah. You know, oh, that hill looks easy. You should have had a 4x4. I always love that one. You're not riding the right kind of 4-wheeler. Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
But
So,
anyway,
Chad, I didn't realize that was our first day that we rode together when I hit Crazy Pony. That seems like it hasn't been that long ago. Also, yeah, Archangel, we've rode Florida, so it's definitely some different terrain than what we're used to up here with the sand, and there's different types of you know, you got the roots and the, like, I don't know what you call it, but I think the tumbleweeds and stuff that get stuck up in your axles and chain and stuff. That stuff's a pain in the butt. But yeah, we've definitely rode some Florida terrain, and it's unique.
I want to give a shout out to Mike Freetage. What's up, bro? Nice to see you here. Didn't feel like typing it, so I figured I'd just say it. But glad you could swing in for a minute, even though we're probably getting done here in a minute because we've already been on here about an hour or so. Anyway, what do we got? Any more questions or anything anyone wants to bring up, or we want to talk about now, or we want to get off of here?
Well, I'm gonna go ahead and get off here soon when we get done. But yeah, The Walking Dead's coming on, so you know. I don't know.
Right.
I don't know if anybody's a Walking Dead fan out there. It's a zombie soap opera, but I'm still watching. So
yeah, I was planning on watching it. It's coming around at 9, so.
only thing I was gonna do is, you know, plug my channel. You guys like guns? Like I said, there's, you know, one music video on there. I don't know it, but Brogan is a drummer also. I drum and I play guitar, but yeah, check out my YouTube channel, Armament and Axes. I'm on book. That's about it.
I like what we're doing here. I think it'll be a good time, you know, doing this each week. And I don't know if I can do it every week, but I definitely want to be on here most weeks, and I think getting some discussions going and getting some people interested and getting some questions answered, and giving some information out there for some events. Hopefully we're going to get going and keep this Hill Climb Ohio thing alive, and just hill climb in general alive. You know, it felt like it was at one point almost a dying sport, you know, and even though we're not the same thing as like an official sanctioned event on a hill climb, we still got the same love in mind when it comes to climbing hills, and ours is a little bit unique with our point systems and stuff we came up with in our competition part of it. But I'm just glad that there's so many people out there that enjoy it, and obviously people enjoy the videos, and we enjoy hanging out with people at the competitions, and the madness will continue.
Yeah, couldn't have said that any better. I guess, like I said, I got stickers. Anybody wants any, get a hold of me. I'll figure something out. I got plenty. You can do PayPal or whatever. blah, blah, blah. But yeah, definitely check out my dad's page, Armament and Axis. Anybody that is into guns, you're gonna like what he's gonna be posting here. Me and him are actually gonna do a video here soon. Hopefully, we're gonna compete. See how that goes, just for fun, But
well,
see who can outshoot the other. But like I told him, if I outshoot him, he's the teacher, so it's actually not a bad thing.
And I got old.
but yeah, I guess everybody that dropped by, thanks for stopping in. I hope to see you guys all hopefully next Sunday. We can do this and make it a weekly thing and just talk, you know. And hopefully get some more people on the panel. That'd be good. Definitely check out Luke's channel too. He's got lots of good content. Lots of good content on his channel. So check that out.
I can't wait to get the new Florida stuff up. It's going to be pretty epic. I got some really, really cool stuff went on down there. So hopefully I got some good footage and I get a chance to go through it. Some pretty amazing wrecks and amazing climbs, and we all had a good time down there.
I've seen some of it. We'll take, take this next week and we'll get, some pictures and maybe some clips lined up. And next weekend we'll have more to show and talk about and take this to, the next level. Because like I said, this was just the first tryout. Let's do a podcast and BS and hang out basically. So I guess it's working. It's worked out pretty good so far here. I dropped out once, but because my modem sucks. But anyway, I guess if we're ready to go, we'll get out of here.
Final words. My final statement on videos and whatnot is peace to all. Stay 2A strong. Hashtag 2A strong.
Hashtag HILLCLIMB Ohio.
That works too.
All right, guys, I'm off. See you guys later. We'll see you next week.
All right, next week, 7 o'clock.
Take care.
Later.
See you.